This is Rap the News, coming to you today with a heavy heart, people. And so, I want to say that no matter how much information you give people, they can't fully understand what you are saying. You know, they know not what they do. They don't understand the consequences and repercussions of their actions for real. There are people saying, I believe, and they don't believe. They have no understanding. They will refuse to look at themselves. The believers, the true chosen of the Most High God, I believe is pretty much is 1 percentile. You're in the 1%. Believing in God seems to be the hardest thing in the world. Obeying God seems to be the hardest thing in the world. Everybody can learn and do everything under the sun, but nobody can stay on the straight and narrow. A sister was saying, a Christian, uh, I want to be on the straight and narrow and blah, 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 blah. But when you tell them what the straight and narrow is, they can't even believe it. You following the majority of people saying you want to be on the straight and narrow. It has to be a road that not too many people cross that road. It got to be something a little strange and different, but provable as the truth. This is what you're seeing right here on the Raptor News channel. It may be a little strange, it may be a little different from what you heard, but it's provable. That is the straight and narrow. The straight and narrow people don't understand is a direct path to God alone. It is a straight and narrow path that leads to the Most High God. Every other path will lead you to hell. Our people are stubborn. Our people is stiff necked. Our people is like that mule. You're trying to get to do something and he kicking and bucking and stubborn and he hawing and you ain't gonna get him to do crap and he frustrates the holy fucking hell out of you. That is the condition of our people. You tell them about the balance system, karma. You tell them about as you sow and you will reap. You don't get it. See, in that system, you cannot blame anybody. Your life is screwed up because you screwed it up by making poor choices. And that's how God is a fair and just God. He is only giving you what you put in. That is called a balanced system if people don't understand. And then we treat each other like shit. And we smile and hug each other and we have animosity and hatred in our heart. I just watch. I watch with my people and I watch with everybody online. People cannot treat each other right. People will treat a dog better than a human. And then, I watch how people treat the baby and I watch how people treat each other. You know, how can you be real kind and sweet and loving to a baby, but your brother and your sister, you have this standoffish animosity, to them. And I'm talking about family members. Wow, you totally don't get God. If you totally understood the concept of as you sow, you shall reap, you would treat everybody like gold. The stinking person that you showed up to at somebody's house has to be returned back to you. Now you got to meet a person just as stinking as you. The opinionated person that you walked up on, now you got to meet somebody just as opinionated as you. We look, God said the women is going to have the men is going to have 7 women in the last day, but right now they can't find none, right? And the women is going to be with the guy for his namesake, not his wallet, not his PhD, and not his penis, for his namesake. And then I was watching Rapture Dreams because I always watch those things. And the woman was talking about rapture dreams, and she was talking about a part of her dream that she was disgusted with the man because he had a small penis. And I'm looking at her, and your breasts look like Brussels sprouts. Like you are underdeveloped your goddamn self. How can you judge? Because when you judge him for his small penis, I was judging you for your small breast. Immediately, when you start judging somebody, people start looking at you intensely harder. Come on, your titties look like Brussels sprouts. You didn't develop right. And what if men were like that? Well, we can't have you because your titties look like a little girl's titties, and to even touch you is like a molestation or something. Go on, little girl, grow some titties. And then you got these women who is getting a knife and cutting open their breasts and getting saline and everything else stuffed up in there. You like a stuffed turkey with your fake ass, you know. And they got all these procedures and everything else. And in the end, God said, you just gonna be with a man for his name's sake. You know what that means? You're doing it to please God. Right? And so we really don't get the balance system as a people, and that's what I'm saying here. You know, the details don't matter. It's how we treat people. If you make that woman feel bad, then you're going to feel bad as a man. If you make that man feel bad, then somebody has to turn around and return that back to you. You sold insecurity in, and then insecurity has to be gave back to you. Somebody going to yell it out loud. Look at your little titties. You know, they going to say, well, if somebody's leg, ain't broken, do you put a cast on it? No. You know, if somebody stopped drinking, do you give them some drink? No. Well, if somebody ain't got no titties, do you give them a bra? No. I saw something like that on TikTok, and that's why I'm saying that. You know, and we need to stop humiliating each other. When you humiliate someone, it's because you don't like God's creation. That's a reflection of God who created every human being the way He wanted them. Maybe the focus is not the titty size, the ass size, and the dick size. Maybe the focus is not the height. Maybe the focus is not the complexion. God said you are looking at the outer appearance and He's looking towards your heart. What is in your heart? Malice? Judgments? Condemnation? Because that is when this, and I just want to say bitch, when she was just saying about the dreams and stuff like that, she was really disgusted. Do you know how superficial you are and stupid? You know, and then we can't even talk about it as people. That means you must be insecure because you talked about it. That means I talked about gay people yesterday. And that means you must be gay because why are you talking about gay? But when I talk about God, now I'm the Antichrist. Funny how that don't fit. You know, I'm some evil person. I prayed to God the other day, and the Lord answered the prayer. I said, Lord, I want to help this woman get a place to stay. She is homeless, you know, and I know you will be happy if I do that. And I know the person would be happy if I did that. Somebody sent a message with a donation and they said, this is for the homeless. Incredible. Incredible. You have no idea how big of a blessing you are. You know who you are. Incredible. Thank God for people like you. You know, and I'm going to do what's right by it, God willing. I'm not using it for myself. Isaiah 66:4. So I also will choose harsh treatment for them, and will bring on them what they dread. For when I called, no one answered. I told you Israelites to be kind to each other. You want to be mean to each other and say degrading things to each other. Right? I told y'all to believe. Y'all want to add a false God. I'm calling you to worship me. Y'all want to call on Jesus, who said, worship and serve the Lord your God alone. No one answered. When I spoke, no one listened. They did evil in my sight and chose what displeases me. I watch us argue and bicker among ourselves. I am so fed up with that. I hate chaos. You dealing with a God of order and you chaotic? You want to argue and fight over things that don't matter? You want to let the demons possess you, and that's what that is, demon possession? When did God told us to argue and fight and bicker amongst ourselves over small little petty things? I watch the people on each person's land get up and leave, whether it's Dow, whether it's Yuda Yasharel, whether it's Brother Deshaun, get up and leave over petty ass shit that could be resolved, over judgments. Who the hell told us to judge like that? Look, the book says, look, first get the mote out of your eye, and then you'll see clearly to take the beam out of thy brother's eye. Right? And that's in Matthew, right? And so, first fix your shit, and then you'll see clearly to fix somebody else's. You stop sinning first. Right? No one listened. They did evil in my sight and chose what displeases me. They hate each other. They obeying Jim Crow, his laws, a division. Every time we have a problem as Israel, we run. I can't stand that. We run. Right? Okay. Ezekiel 7:3. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon you, and I will judge you according to your ways. This is not, and I will recompense upon you all your abominations. If you reap towards the flesh, he says, you will reap towards the flesh. That means you're going to catch cancer, you're going to catch a bullet, you're going to catch a car accident, you're going to catch a beat down, and that's for having sex. And we're like, well, if God has given me what I reap, then somebody that I like should come and fuck me. Yeah, you moron. You reaping evil. You are committing adultery and fornication. Most people are committing adultery and don't know it. Right? The book says the first person you slept with is your wife. So the moment she goes sleep with somebody else, you committing adultery with his wife. Right? Now is the end come upon you, and I will send my anger upon you and judge you according to your ways. According to what you sow is how you're going to reap. People are angry at you because you are angry at people. He is telling you exactly how this world works, how his system works, his divine, just system. People don't like you because you don't like people. People talking behind your back because you talking behind somebody else's back. People undermining you because you undermining and plotting on somebody else. You dug one grave, you dug two. Ezekiel 9:10. And as for me also my eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. How many times do you people have to hear this? If you're mad at the next man, you are seeing a reflection of yourself. If you're mad at the next woman, you are seeing a reflection of yourself. If you're making somebody insecure, somebody will make you feel insecure. Brussels sprouts. And I'm talking about a wide variety of ill treatment that we do to each other. And somebody will focus only on the Brussels sprouts because that's as far as their mind can go. 2 Chronicles 6:23. Then hear thou from heaven and do and judge thy servants by requiting the wicked, by recompensing his way upon his own head, and by justifying the righteous, by giving him, listen, according to his righteousness. Now, we doing something nice right here. When the wicked gonna get what they gonna get, but the righteous according to your righteousness. Now we're going somewhere. What do I mean by this? If you can forgive the hardest person to forgive in your life, that's what I told James Sinkey before he died, and that hardest person was his father and his mother, mainly his father, right? Then God can forgive you. If you can let it go, God can let it go. This is your way, says God, whether you're wicked or you're righteous. I'm only giving you your way. So now you want to do things the good and positive ways. We don't talk about people's insecurities. We don't talk about people because they short. We don't talk about people because they this and because they that. And it don't make me short because I mention short people. It don't make me small and insignificant because I'm mentioning small, insignificant people or how people deem people that way. I'm only talking about it because it's a disease with us. And by justifying the righteous, by giving him according to his righteousness. Do you give to the homeless? Well, the Most High God got a home for you in heaven. And he said, if you reap, sparingly, give sparingly, you're going to reap sparingly. If you give in abundance, you're going to reap in abundance. And God always gives you more. Because that's the God that we serve. Right? Let's keep it moving. Listen carefully. 2 Samuel 22:26. With the merciful, God will show himself merciful. And with the upright man, that will show himself upright. God is talking clearly to all of us. We love to argue as a people. I'm so sick arguing with small-minded people who don't get it. Okay, just allow. I'm gonna tell you what God said, and then you go your way being small-minded. If you merciful, God can be merciful. It's gonna keep saying it over. That's Samuel's. Here goes Psalms. Here go Proverbs. With the merciful, thou will show thyself merciful. With the upright man, he will show himself upright. Right? He ain't gonna destroy you. The merciful man does good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. Right? Forgive ye, for if you forgive men their trespasses, we always talking about a balance system. If you can't remember nothing Rap the News told you, remember this balance system. Your heavenly Father will also forgive you. If you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will God forgive your trespasses. So what did we learn from the beginning to the end? We are learning what? What are we learning? We're learning that you only get what you put out. People only treat you how you treat others. And basically you can only have what you earn. This is what we're learning. It is a balance system. That's what we're learning. And some people will never get this. Some people will never hear it. You are blessed to hear it. Let's treat each other like some people treat their dogs very well. Let's treat each other like people treat little babies. We are fearful of each other. We are insecure. If you listen to God, then you would understand that no one can do anything to you except for what you already did to yourself. Right? So we shouldn't be worrying about somebody hurting you and hurting your heart. If you ain't broke nobody's heart, don't expect that. If you ain't screwed nobody over, don't expect that. If you ain't raped nobody, don't expect that. But sometimes God give you stuff in the form of that. If you hinder somebody from the path of the Most High God, and then somebody rape you and now you can't get straight. You said, I didn't rape nobody though. Yes, you did. You raped them from their future. You know, you got them sent to hell because you showed them an evil way. You may have showed them some porno or showed them some this or showed them some drug addiction stuff, and then you got raped. It's because you raped them with your corruption. You corrupted them, and God is showing you how He look at your evil by allowing you to get raped. And I'm not joking about rape. I know that's a serious matter, and just like I said, you know, I had to run for my own ass as a child. My whole childhood. I mean, it seemed like everywhere I went, people was chasing me down, and I'm talking about these gay ass men. I'm a kid. I'm trying to run for my ass. Literally had to run. Literally had to tell. Literally had to hide. Literally had to fight for my ass. You know, and I'm putting that on God in my life. Thank God God saved my ass. Literally, because I know I can't live with that shit. No man got a hold of me. By the grace of God, it wasn't that I was strong enough to fight off any men, and I feel bad for kids who couldn't fight them off. You know, that does something to you. You know, and so I'm not even talking down on that. I'm not talking down on rape. I'm saying that if you hindered people, it is like I'm making a comparison. You fucked them up and you got fucked up. We have to only put out, according to what God is showing us in the scriptures, what we want back. If you can't forgive, overlook, pardon, and be merciful, God will not be that way with you. If you can't save nobody, God will not save you. If you can't shelter the homeless and feed the poor, God is not going to shelter you nor feed you when you're in your time of need. Treat people like you want to be treated. This is Rap the News.